we've reached that point of it. Let's talk about it. Istanbul, mate. I don't know if will you ever get tired of talking about the day that you won the European Cup?
No, no, because no, the crazy thing is like when we won it, and after that, maybe 2 or 3 years after, we didn't talk that much, It was like crazy final, but you don't realize like what we done. And after that, it's maybe many years later when I moved in America or before that, it's like everyone remind me, oh yes, oh yes, that final. And the crazy thing is like people remember the final, was they was doing it, where they was, and it's like how many Champions League final had been played since the history of the things, but everyone remember that final, and that's where I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, do you get that? Is that the thing? I mean, I guess it must be that people, not just people talk to you about it, but talk to you about their memories and their experiences.
Memories, journey. Yes, I was on that bar. I was watching with them. Oh yes, I was doing that. Half time, I left the game, or that, all that kind of story. Like crazy story. And us as well. It was crazy, to be honest, as well, for us on the field, on the locker room, half time, all that kind of things. It's like it was crazy.
I must have watched that game probably 15 times, I think, start to finish in my life. Whenever I'm down or sad, I go and put it back on again because it's incredible. And it's have you watched the full game back ever since it?
Maybe one time, 2 times I watch it. I try to skip the first half.
Well, that's the thing for me, is that what's great about it is you can now look back and see how good AC Milan were. That first half and the goals they scored, you can appreciate it knowing that it doesn't matter. But they were unreal. Like
Yeah.
they absolutely tore Liverpool apart in that first half.
To be honest, it's like when you watch all the way, the campaign, we start like, in August, and we went all the way through to the final. AC Milan, it was the best team we faced, best team by far we faced. The way they was played, like the first 45 minutes, it was like crazy. Because before we used to like to defend well, don't concede goal, frustrate the opposition. But them, they find straight away our weakness, and then put us like in a bad situation, and score 3 goals in the Champions League final, first half. That's like, for me, it's like, it was like crazy.
And then, I mean, again, you look at things like it's the Crespo finish, like incredible, just incredible.
It was like it was like not only the finish, it was the way they build up the goals, the way they start, everything like that. They regain the ball, they kill us on counter attack straight away. I think it was like Kaka, for me, was like on the best on his career. It was like fantastic. To be honest, it's like that game. I think I tried to tackle him like many times, but I can't catch him because it was like, for me, it was, I've never seen one player, play against fast player, Henry, all the kind of things. Like even Cisse for our team, it was like fast. But it was the first time I faced someone fast with the ball on his feet. Because normally guys, they have the ball, they push the ball, they will run. But him, to drive the ball, go, he was so fast and very clever. Like when you come to him, he slow down, and after that he starts again, So it's like that kind of player is like so smart, so good. So it was tough.
Absolutely. And there's obviously half time has been mythologized. There's been films and plays made about half time in there. Talk me through, if you don't mind, what your half time looked like.
For me, I will tell you, I still remember. I come back on the locker room, head down, very like devastated because, more like, of course, for the team, but for the fan, because, people come, a lot of people travel, all the sacrifice they did to come to that game. We know like Liverpool, it was like a big, big, big deal for us to win that things, and to be able that way, 3-0 down at halftime. It was like, we all feel like shame or something like that. And everything went fast. Rafa calm, maybe talk like 2 seconds with Paco and something like that. And first thing he say yes. Because I know Rafa very well, back in that time I knew the way he talked to me, and I know when I'm in trouble and when I'm good. So all the time when he called me Jimmy, I'm fine. I knew I'm fine. But when he used like Traore, I'm like, I'm big time trouble. So he says straight things. He said Traore, shower. Because his English back in the time was not the best as well. So he said Traore, shower. I'm like, okay, fine. So it's like I start to strip down, take off my socks, cleats, everything like that. Up, went to the shower, and when I went to the shower, I was like so down, but I didn't put a shampoo and everything like that. I think I was like just run the shower, but I was like more like no sit, but I remember I have my two hands on the wall and thinking like so down. And 2 seconds later, we have like someone tap on my shoulder and they say, Paco. He said, Jimmy, you in? I'm like, what? I said, Jimmy, what do you mean? He said, no, son, don't worry, come on, come. I said, come on, you play again. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, yes, Finan is injured, so you play. I'm like, oh, okay. So now, that's the tough part for me. So it's like, now I need to refocus, put me back in the game. So it's like, put my shoes, things, think about, be focused, listen, Rafa, the instruction, everything like that. And for me, it was a crazy moment. But for me, that's why I was like reflecting that way. That is it's an example of my career,
When you think about it, there's two moments in the whole season, and that are, they could go another way. You could have ended up at Everton, and if you'd not been injured, or maybe that had been different. And if Steve Finnan's not injured, it could be a completely different thing as well. It's mad when you think about it, and that second half, and obviously the extra time and all that stuff is just absolutely unreal. I mean, you're obviously defending. How so therefore you're pretty close to Jersey around for the save. The one I'm talking about, the double Shevchenko save. What's your view of that? What's your feelings there?
When he did that, I was like, not believe like he can stop that. I think I was marking Shevchenko, I think, by the way. But when he make that save, when he make that save, I was like, oh, he saved my life. And I see like Carragher straight come to me, like, what's going on? I'm like, wow, and that was Jersey, Jersey was like fantastic on that final, and he saved us. And, I think it was the team. It was like the spirit when we come back in the second half. Steven Gerrard as the leader, he scored that goal. So, and he lifted the team, we believe like we can come back, and, that crazy 6 minutes, 3 goals in 6 minutes. That's where I think, that for me, that's the beauty of the football.
Yeah.
It's like, you can be up or you can be down. Everything can change in a few seconds. And that's what we done. I think I know like a lot of people study that game and use that game to, to talk about football, because yes, you can get like all the emotion, you can be down, happy. And we went through all that kind of things,
Absolutely incredible. And it goes, obviously, as you say, we get the goals. It's then backs to the wall. You've got Jamie Carragher going down with cramp, going off, coming back on, going down with cramp again. And I think what's that when it finally happens, and the penalties are done, and it's won. What are you doing? Because there's so many stories. What's the first thing you do? What's your first reaction?
First reaction, I run straight to Jersey, it was like, we ran all straight to Jersey, and to be honest, like, you don't believe, like, I was not believe, like, we won, because, like, it was, like, crazy, like, we jump around, congratulate each other, talking to each other, hug each other. It was crazy, but yes, at that conversation with Rafa, I remember that thing with Rafa, like, oh yes, if you don't sign, and one as well, Steven Gerrard, grabbed me and they said to me, yes, happy, and that tell you like the way Stevie was a leader on the team, and he want to win badly, like so badly, the league. He said to me like, come on, next year we need to win the league. Next year we need to push for the league. You see that moment, you see that atmosphere, that's crazy. Next year we need to go for the league. And that's why I have so much respect for him, because that kind of type of guy.
Yeah. Absolutely. What were the celebrations like that night once you got back to the hotel?
The locker room was crazy. We celebrate like crazy, jump around, take pictures, and all that. And to be honest, in the hotel, it was like different kind of atmosphere, because we've been like tired and see, a spouse, wife, girlfriend, everything like that. I remember like I spent more the time with my girlfriend back in the time. Now it's my wife, and it was like great. We have like great night, but I was never expect, you know, to when we arrive in Liverpool to have that kind of a reception, that kind of atmosphere. I was like, yes, we won it, but yes, okay, it's fantastic. We done it for the fun, but I would never ever expect to see that many people in Liverpool when we went on the bus all the way to go to downtown. Everything like that. I was like, honestly, I was like speechless. Like what is that?
Is that, in some respects, because it was world famous, the how Liverpool fans reacted and how many people poured into the city? Is that one of the moments that made you realise, because you say you don't really realise what it is you've done, or was it so big that that's another thing that you can't really, it's so big you can't understand that the same way that you don't really realise about winning the trophy?
For me, it's like, when you bring like that kind of a lot of people, because I'm sure it was like some Everton fan, some people they don't even watch football maybe, and when you can bring like all together that people, and celebrate with you and cheer for you, that's for me that's the beauty of our sport, because I think we have like maybe one of the sport where we can bring like all community together, all the people together, because you can see like it's not that many sport you can bring like that many people outside and celebrate with the team, and I think the football is one of the number one on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there any particular memories from that day? Anything that stands out to you?
Not really. Just celebrate. It was a long time ago. I have like a bad memory.
Yeah,
But like
and possibly a drink on the bus as well.
yeah, and to be honest, since we are like locked down and we are like isolated, I did my office and I did my garage and pull up like so a lot of picture. And yes, I watch the picture around, and I see all the picture with my ex-teammate or something like that, and it was fun to watch it back, bring me nice memory, good memory, and show that to my kids, wife, and everybody's happy.